Warning: the following content is not meant for investment or financial advice. It's meant for entertainment purposes only. Oh, and pardon the lack of focus from my camera. Seems like it prefers the background than my face. Are you struggling with figuring out how much to save? What percentage of your income should you save? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the guidelines that has helped me answer these questions. So, let's get into it. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicky Sujadi. I create relatable contents for you millennials such as personal finance, career-related topics. And so if you like these kind of topics, do consider subscribing because that is what this channel is going to be about. Well, today I really want to touch on the topic of savings. How much should I save? You know, as a young adult and a millennial, you really have to start questioning like, okay, what's your saving plans going to be like, right? And one of the question is how much to save? How much of a certain percentage of your income should I save, right? And there are actually certain guidelines that I have read up online and read up in a book, such as the Barefoot Investor, which I highly recommend. So the equation is very simple. Income is equal to spending plus savings. Yep, you either spend it or you save it. That's it, fairly simple. You might also question, oh wait, how about investment? You know, what if I invest? Well, investing, I would say I'll put it into the savings category, but I wouldn't touch on that until later on in my future videos. If you just twist the equation around a bit and do a bit of maths, savings is equal to income minus spending, right? So in some way, income is sort of fixed. And if we kind of figure out how much you spend, you will sort of figure out how much you should save. And that's where it comes to the first step, which is to find a ballpark estimate of how much you spend. Just keep in mind, I said the word ballpark estimate because I know that some of you guys actually keep a spreadsheet of what you actually spend. You know, you put it in your apps about all the small things that you buy, like lattes, lunch, and everything else, which is perfect if it worked for you. But tracking down every single expenditure has been a bit overwhelming for me. So that's why I ask about the ballpark estimate. This could really just be as simple as how much do you actually spend for lunch and dinner on average, right? To me, lunch, usually I spend around $12 to $15, so let's just take $15 into example. Dinner, I usually spend a bit more, around $20, so that means it's around $35 for meals a day. I skip breakfast, so I don't count breakfast in. So that's $35 a day for, let's just assume, weekdays and weekends as well. So if you do a bit of maths, 35 times 7, that will be 245, or you can just go straight 35 times 30, that would be 1,050. So 1,050, that's just on food, right? And I know that I play a lot of badminton. That probably gives into another $200 a month. Just a ballpark estimate. So that means that I spent around 1,250, round up to 1,300 plus bills. So that will be around 1,400. Ooh, that's quite a lot. So yeah, that is really how I do my ballpark estimate. But this is just the first step. Another rule of thumb which I actually have found online is that people follow this 50-30-20 rule. What that means is that they put 50% of that into your needs, 30% into their wants, and 20% into their savings. That is something that you can do as well, just to get a ballpark estimate. So just 20% times your income, that might be your savings. Some people do a 50-50 rule, which is 50% spending and 50% saving. So you can just literally cut it into half your income, and that is what you actually save. This is, of course, good to give you that ballpark estimate at the start. So after the first step, the second step is where you experiment with that amount. All right, now you have that ballpark estimate. Now for me, my first ballpark estimate was 1,300, was it? 1,300. And so I kind of experiment with that, all right? So how do I experiment with that? Is very simple. So you just put that amount into one of your account that you use for transaction and put the rest into your savings account. And so yeah, you do need 2 accounts at this stage. And if you still only have 1 account which you use for everything, savings plus transactional, I highly recommend you look into opening up a savings account. This is really a crucial step, and you can definitely find that in my previous videos in terms of how you find the best savings account in your country, or a guideline for that pretty much. So once you actually put that exact amount into the transactional and put the rest into savings, you try that out for a month. You pay your bills, you pay your expenses, and you see how you're feeling at the end of the month. What's the balance at the end of the month? And mind you as well, that you do not want to go full on lavish with this amount. You do not want to go on full hardcore savings mode. That means like eating instant noodles every single meals. That's not what you really want to do. And I'll explain a bit more later on. But you really want to find a very sustainable expenditure where you can spend this amount comfortably every single month. And then you can actually go to the next step, the third step, which is tweaking your expenditure amount. Because this is a ballpark estimate at the first step, you most likely will not hit a jackpot. You either overestimate it or you underestimate it, right? For me, I tend to overestimate it. I just realized with my ballpark estimate just now, I don't spend 1,300 a month. So once you actually figure that out, that you overestimate it or you underestimate it, you adjust accordingly, right? If I overestimate it, I obviously adjust it down. So I maybe put like 1,200 or maybe even go down to 1,000, and then you're able to tell again, go back to step 2 and then try it on for a second month. So for me personally, I did that. I tried on with $1,000. I literally just put $1,000 in my account. I go on my daily lives another month. And I realized that, you know what? I felt that I was cutting it myself a bit short at the end of the month. That means that I don't have a lot of money at the end of the month, and I sort of need to transfer a bit from my savings to my transactional account so that I can sustain to the end of the month. So because of that, I adjusted again. I put it up to maybe 1,200, which is what I am at right now. And that is how I got my expenditure or spending amount per month. Then you're able to just use the formula, your income minus your expenditure, and then you got your savings amount. The key is to find a sustainable expenditure amount such that you can be consistent with that amount for the long run. Because that will in turn make you find a sustainable savings amount that you can be consistent with for the long run. And consistency is really key. So you really want to find a consistent savings amount and not just like having a fluctuation of savings at the time when you have high willpower to save, and then suddenly you realize that, you know what, oh crap man, I am not living my life eating instant noodles all day long, and then you suddenly, you know what, screw savings, I'm just gonna go out fine dining all the way, and you suddenly didn't save up or you even use up all your savings. So really find that sustainable amount of savings through these steps by constantly tweaking every single month, and then you can finally find that golden number of savings amount, and then you just automate that transfer every single month to savings account, which I will actually touch in the next video. So if you want to know how to automate your savings account, do check that out in my next video, which I will upload next week. But yeah, if you find value from this video, please do give a thumbs up. Share it with your friends that you think might gain value from this content as well. If you like more of this type of contents, do consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notification, all that YouTube stuff, right? Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Bye.